Hello, Flemington-Raritan Regional School District families. I am Superintendent McGann, and thank you for joining me for the December newsletter. This is a Minute with McGann. It's my way to communicate with families through virtual broadcast for those families that choose to watch video instead of reading the newsletter, or maybe some of you do both. So I have three main topics I'd like to share with families today through my video December newsletter. The first is we're going to talk a little bit about winter weather because all eyes are on the forecast and what is coming to us for school tomorrow, the last day before our winter break. Second, I want to talk to families about learning and Start Strong assessments and other assessments that are happening here in the district. And third, I'm going to speak to families about opportunities that are linked to those assessments. Okay. So first, let's talk about the weather. In our school districts, we build in 3 snow days, which are emergency days for wintry weather. Right now, we still have scheduled, as planned, an early dismissal tomorrow for school. As I mentioned, the last day before our winter break, we're still planning to have an early dismissal, but I am watching the weather closely tonight and early in the morning tomorrow morning. I anticipate we'll still have just an early dismissal unless we see a change of timing in when we're expecting that snowy and icy weather. I encourage parents to be sure to check the Genesis portal. We want to make sure that we send information to your preferred parent number that is linked to the Genesis account. We send out broadcasts of information whenever we have wintry weather that may be a change in normal planning. So what's happening right now is that we're expecting snow tomorrow around noontime, beginning around noon and continuing through the afternoon. Our students have an early dismissal tomorrow, and hopefully we won't have to use one of our snow days, but we do have 3 built in. Those days are to take place in case of an emergency, and they're built into the calendar, which you can find on our website under the tab at the top, which says calendar. We have 3 days. We have May 26th, which is scheduled as an emergency day, March 20th and April 17th. And we use those days in order. So for example, if tomorrow the weather were to take a turn for the worse and we had to close school, the students would have to come to school on May 26th. So we would lose that day as a no school day. Then we would go to March 20th. And then last we would go to April 17th. If unfortunately we had more than 3 days and we had to close school on a 4th day, then that's when we unfortunately have to start using spring break days. But we haven't had to do that in 5 years. So let's hope that this year is not the year that we have to do that. Some of you might be wondering, well, why do we have snow days at all? Just do a virtual day. You have the technology to do that, and you did it in the past. And that is true. We do have the technology to do that, and we could do that. We certainly learned how to pivot very quickly during the pandemic, but the state has guidelines on that and requirements. And what the state requires is that a school district cannot have a virtual learning day unless they are on their 4th day of a closing. So after the 3rd consecutive day, a school district can select to choose the 4th day as a virtual learning day. So right now, we don't have any plans to do that. Okay, so we'll watch the weather closely. As I mentioned, please make sure you're checking your contact information in Genesis portal to make sure you receive all of the updates. Second, let's talk about Start Strong assessments. Our students took the Start Strong assessments at the beginning of the school year, and these assessments were planned at the beginning of the school year by the Department of Education, and they were to help school districts decide on the most appropriate level of support that were needed for students. Additionally, here, our students take the NWEA, otherwise known as the MAP test, and we use that to help us determine which students need support as well in 2 academic subject areas, language arts and mathematics. We are in process of reviewing our Start Strong assessment data, and we are also reviewing our NWEA data regularly. Parents can expect to receive in January your students' Start Strong assessment information paperwork, and you'll receive that from the district. Right now, what we have done is based on NWEA assessments is we've determined 2 opportunities for students for additional support, targeting mathematics and language arts. This week, we mailed out to 100 families information for their children to sign up to a free, no-cost opportunity for virtual tutoring with a live instruction person through a company called Latera. And Latera is offering online high-impact tutoring that we partnered with them using our American Recovery Plan rescue money. So if you are one of those families that received that invitation for your child, please, we encourage you to sign up and let us know that you're interested. And if you're a family that didn't receive that invitation, try not to worry too much about that because there are other opportunities that are coming. What we are doing is targeting the students based on our data who needed the most support right away, and we're offering it to them first. And then after that, as we see families that are signing up or not signing up, we'll open up additional opportunities. We have more opportunities scheduled for the early spring, late spring, early summer, and again next fall. So we have many opportunities available. We're also planning additional instruction and support in mathematics. This is slightly planned different, whereas language arts is Latera and online live person instruction tutoring at home, in your home for your child. The mathematics instruction is happening on site here in school with Flemington-Raritan Regional School District teachers, and that is small group instruction. And both of those opportunities are for 3rd grade through 6th grade. And you might wonder, well, why not kindergarten, 1st grade, or 2nd grade? And why not 7th and 8th grade? Well, that's because we looked at our data and we determined that right now we're focusing on 3rd through 6th grade. And again, we'll offer some other opportunities after this first initial invitation. So those mathematics letters, as of the time of this video call, have not gone out yet, but they'll be going out either, if not today, possibly tomorrow, or maybe right after the winter break holidays. But I expect either this afternoon, tomorrow, or possibly right after the Christmas holiday. So watch for those. Let me also talk to parents about, in this Minute with McGann, my best wishes for a holiday winter break. In our family, you might read in my newsletter that our tradition is we come together and focus on my mother-in-law, who's 95 years old, and her ravioli tradition. We get together as a family and we do cutting and folding and filling, and we are just so blessed to be able to come together. And I hope your families also have a tradition that you are celebrating during the winter break and enjoy a peaceful, wonderful holiday season. And we look forward to seeing our students back right after the winter break. We have the Monday off, January 2nd, we are off, and students return on Tuesday, January 3rd. So my best to families in Flemington-Raritan. Have a wonderful holiday season, and we'll look forward to seeing your students back very, very soon on January 3rd. Thank you for joining me on this Minute with McGann for my December newsletter video blog.